For those people that like to sit in meditation position on a pillow and kind of tip your spine and lean forward, we have some in the front on the floor. And you'll be supported by the seat of the pew. Isn't that weird word, pew? I never got that. Anyway, welcome to Unity. And the pillow is, there's 2 pillows there. Okay. I really, and we have pillows in the bookstore that you can purchase and you could bring with you. There's just something about having that pillow that you meditate every day to go with you to where you are. It just helps set that in motion. So, but you're welcome to use ours. We have like 2 or 3 under each one under the front areas. Okay, so we're going to be doing chanting and few seconds when we get our drummer. Okay. Jack and I, when we first met, we got into meditation from Maharishi came to New York City, and we read his book, and also we read a book about Edgar Cayce, and it was the life of Edgar Cayce. So it was There Is a River. And that book changed our life. I mean, I was brought up Methodist, kind of walked away from that at like 12 in my mind, because I was reading the Bible myself and I didn't feel that is what was coming out. There was a lot of programming of stuff that I didn't feel was right. So, and then we read Edgar Cayce, and I had read a book at 12 called The Search for Bridie Murphy. And it just opened up reincarnation to me. I really believed that existed. And when I read Edgar Cayce's book, I could never think the same ever again. It just opened up natural healing remedies, a whole way to live in this spiritual life that starts to manifest the intuition guiding you in everything you do. And we sought out the ARE, which was the Association for Research and Enlightenment, and that was the Edgar Cayce Foundation. And we did a Wednesday meditation every Wednesday. And that was really like an hour long of just sitting quiet. And when you don't meditate at all, that was pretty hard in the beginning. But then that was what brought us into connecting to that inner guidance in everything you do. You know, you let go and you let that divine come through. And it doesn't matter what you call the creator, the divine, light. There's just something other than us that is so magnificent. So we're going to chant to this, and it's a chant with a call and response. So Larry and Louie are going to help you respond, but you know, you're not supposed to just listen to them respond, you're supposed to sing with them. And don't worry about what you sound like. Nobody in Unity will look at you and go, oh, why are you singing? You should never sing. That doesn't happen here. They just accept that we are all joining together in chanting. Okay.
Deep within.
Feel God. No peace. No peace. Shalom. Shalom. No love. No love. Shalom. Shalom. God within is always present. God within is always present. Source of all life is always present.
Source of all life is always present.
Source of all life is always present.
Source of all life is always present.
Divine force 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 is always present. Go within.
is always present.
God within is always present.
God within is always present.
God within is always present.
Source of all life 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 is always present.
Divine force 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 is always present.
Shalom.
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 Go within,
Go within.
deep within,
Deep within.
no peace.
Oh, peace.
Shalom.
Shalom.
God within is always present.
God within is always present.
Shalom.
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 Once again, I would like to ask some volunteers to come up after the service here and help clear the altar. And that's very appreciated. Welcome to the 9th session of the 10 sessions titled Mastering This Life and the Next. The last few Sundays, we have considered the awakening that is taking place in human beings throughout the world. And people have asked, what specifically is the awakening? Can you define it? I can define it very simply. It is awakening to the kingdom of God in our very midst, which is where Jesus said it is. And that awakening to the kingdom of God in our midst is best understood as the awakening to the consciousness of God in our midst. I think if you just open your awareness a little bit, look out the world a little bit, realize how many people are not open to the awareness of God. They're not living from any high spiritual awakening. They're living from strictly down in the material struggle to get through each day and find whatever advantages they can on a personal level. But the majesty of their soul consciousness is not expressed, and it does not receive the divine treasures of existence. So that is what we are about doing. But in the process of this awakening that is now taking place throughout the world in human beings, it is bringing with it insights into necessary innovations required to heal our planet. And such innovations are coming into manifestation throughout the world. I have, over the last couple of weeks, shown a few on video. I'm going to show another one today. Can we just have the first video? That's enough. There's many more on that particular video. And as we rise in awareness and consciousness, we began to release the fear we have around the conditions of, global warming and pollution. And this is all taking place, and it's taking place throughout the world, and it's going to continue to take place. But we're going to be watching amazing changes taking place over the next, 9 or 10 months, and then into the years to come. We are watching a transformation in human awareness. And that's because we're waking up to the divine consciousness, which is at the core of every one of us. The opportunity to awaken is before us in every moment. If you don't feel good, it's because in many ways you don't feel God conscious. So if you don't feel good quite a bit, it is because you're not tuned in yet. And you can tune in very easily to God consciousness and have it direct your life and heal your life and bring you into a higher level of awareness, which brings joy and peace into your experience. So because it is a state of mind that determines so much, I want to share this story with you. A true story. I was parked in a bank parking lot just off the mall. Norma was in the bank conducting some business, and I was waiting for her in the car. And while I was waiting there, I saw a homeless gentleman with a big shopping cart filled with junk. He pushed his cart up into the lot, and he was removing the top of the trash container there, and the cart started to roll away from him before he could get it. And it rolled down the lot and down the driveway into the street. As it ran into the street, a beautiful brand new Porsche convertible came screeching on its brakes right up to it, just missed banging into it. And the guy in the Porsche convertible jumped out of his car, and while the homeless guy was down there trying to retrieve his cart, and this guy was really dapper. I mean, he was doing the whole thing, this beautiful Porsche convertible. He had the leather gloves on, he had the loafers, and he jumps out of his car, and he is just berating this homeless guy, using all kinds of explicitives, calling him an idiot. How could he be so stupid? On and on and on. And it was just the most irritating thing I could even imagine. And while he was doing this, the homeless guy was, obsequiously pulling his cart back up the driveway out of the street, very apologetic. And this guy just kept, get a life, wake up, get a life, you stupid so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. And I thought at that moment, if I could have one prayer answered, it would be that God would intervene here and change the life of each one of them. The homeless guy would move into the life of the Porsche driver, and the Porsche driver would move into the life of the homeless guy. And so you'd see this Porsche guy now pushing the cart up the thing, and you see the homeless guy getting into the beautiful Porsche and driving off to what is probably his home in the mountains, etc. So I once developed a television series around that concept. But when you think about it, how long do you think it would be if there was nothing changed in the consciousness of either, except the fact that now they found themselves in this different lifestyle? How long do you think they would continue in those conditions? You see, what would probably happen is the homeless guy having to deal with his real estate company, or his franchises, whatever it is that brought him the physical wealth that he had, would probably prove to be too much for him. He wouldn't want to be involved and he couldn't keep up with it. And so it wouldn't be very long before he'd be selling off the Porsche and the house and then the business, and then the money would be going this way or that way. Meanwhile, the Porsche guy would have figured out a way to, make better shopping carts. And he'd be selling this to shopping markets. Shopping carts that can't be stolen, maybe. And he'd go on and create another business. And it wouldn't be too long before he would have found a way back into his lifestyle of prosperity. And I only tell the story this way to indicate to us in a very strong manner the most important factor in anyone's life is his or her state of mind, and how often you're entering a state of mind of limitation and negativity for whatever reasons you may have or justifications you may be making in yourself. You see, the one thing that human beings share is we all justify our position in life. If you ask anybody, they will tell you that they're here, they know what they're doing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the fact of the matter is, we're just justifying our position quite often and not really looking at what it is we are doing to ourselves. So I say, if you don't like the experiences of your life, you must get out of not liking them first in a big way. You have to realize when you're in negative thinking and negative emotion that it is in fact drawing to you the world you're living in. Here's what we don't understand from the initial limited state of consciousness. From the initial limited state of consciousness, it looks as though things happen to us in an arbitrary manner, so that we have to justify, what we do and the things that we do. And we think that life just keeps happening to us from the outside. But the truth of it is that we are creating the circumstances of our experience. So if we don't like what we're experiencing, we have to change the mental, emotional state in which we are living. And that's what our spiritual journey is all about. Because, listen now, see, it almost got away from you. It almost got away from you what I just said earlier on in this particular discourse. It almost got away from you that the master of all life, the one around whom the biggest religions in the world have been created, the master of life who walked on water and raised the dead, said, the consciousness of God is within you. It is within you. It is incumbent upon you to align yourself with that. And that will bring you life abundant as I have promised. So, in relationship to this, when I say state of consciousness, many people think it's a lot to do with thinking. You have to change your thinking. That is true, but is more accurately understood as a matter of your heart and changing the way you feel. Because it is the feeling that really begins to draw into your experience that which you have really loved and wanted to have in your experience. So I'm going to share this particular PowerPoint with you. This is from the Master of Life again. Let's take a look at this. You can read this in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 12, 33 to 37. I have taken the privilege of changing some of it because when you become more involved in spiritual awareness, you understand that to understand the scriptures themselves, you have to collapse time. You must collapse time. The Bible writers that wrote, they wrote in terms of past, present, and future. But the masters that taught those words spoke in right here, right now terms. So I have taken some liberties to bring to you the truth. Either make the tree good and its fruit good, or make the tree bad and its fruit bad. For the tree is known by its fruit. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. The good person out of his good treasure brings forth good, and the evil person out of his evil treasure brings forth evil. I tell you, on each day of judgment, people will render account for every careless word they utter. For by your words you are being justified, and by your words you are being condemned. Can we take this back again, please? I hadn't completely done this as well as it could have been done. But it's out of the abundance of the heart. Now try to get in touch with this, because it means life to those who find it. Either make the tree good and its fruit good in your experience, or make the tree bad and its fruit bad. For the tree is known by its fruits. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. The good person out of his good treasure brings forth good. And the limited person in limited consciousness brings forth limited experiences. Can we go on, please? So I tell you, each day is a day of judgment in which you find yourself. People are rendering account. This is so true, I can't tell you. Get rid of the theologians, get rid of all of the Bible interpreters, because what I'm sharing with you right now is the teachings of the masters of life. I tell you, on this day of judgment in which everyone is finding himself, you are rendering account for every careless word, and by those words you are rendering, you are either being justified in the present moment or you are being condemned. Because the only thing that can justify you or condemn you is your own level of consciousness, is your own level of beliefs. And they are being manifest in the fruit that is going before you. So, thus it is important practice to raise our faith, to raise our consciousness experience. And therefore, you have to be awake enough to recognize when you are entertaining negative thoughts and negative emotions. I'm going to skip the next PowerPoint. I'm going to bring this particular heart math exercise. Can we share this video, please? I threw our person a curve because I have another PowerPoint I wanted to share with you, but I think it's more important to get on to...
Hello, my name is Jackie Kukuska, and I'm a nurse educator with the Department of Nursing and Learning and Development. I'd like to walk through the quick coherence technique with you. So let's begin. Make yourself comfortable. You can practice this technique with your eyes opened or closed. Settle into your chair. Uncross your arms, uncross your legs. Release all the tension from your body, feeling fully supported. Now bring your attention and awareness to your heart. Focus on the center of your chest and simply notice your heart and the heart space around it. While continuing to focus on your heart, take some slow, easy, refreshing breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Try to imagine your breath is coming in and out of your heart space. See it coming in, swirling around your heart, and then slowly going back out. Now I invite you to add a positive heart feeling. Recall a time when you felt good, a situation that filled your heart with joy, excitement, happiness, peacefulness, or gratitude. Try to relive that memory now. Really tap into the emotions you were experiencing. The key is to shift from your head to your heart and shift from thinking about the situation to feeling the emotion. Simply imagine you're back in time, reliving this moment. Continue heart-focused breathing in and out. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. Gently bring your attention back to your heart space. Breathe and recall your positive memory. When you're ready, slowly bring your attention back to the room. Open your eyes if they're closed, and try to hold on to the way you feel right now as you go about the rest of your day. By taking heart-focused breaths while recalling a positive emotion, you can begin to regulate your emotions in the moment to stop the drain that emotionally charged situations can have on your system, and instead begin adding energy to your system anytime, anywhere. Thank you.
So you can continue that technique when we do the period of silence in our meditation here. This is why daily meditation and being able to carry that ideal with you, so that throughout the day, wherever you find yourself and whatever you're doing, if you're beginning to feel a little bit down and a little bit negative or limited or put upon, you take that holy pause. You quiet yourself down, bring your attention down into your heart, do the breathing down there, bring up a positive emotion. And let me say this, there are a lot of amazing, wonderful techniques, but the secret to life is feeling good. The more you can feel good, just generally good, means the flow of love is moving through you. And the greatest power of all, is the attracting power of love. So when you feel love, you are drawing to you every good thing in life. And it will come to bless you until you are living in the mastery space of experience. You will know the truth, and that truth will have made you free. So we're going to begin with our Tibetan bowls, allow ourselves to flow into this beautiful awareness. When we get to that place of quiet, you can just use the heart math technique to raise that high, wonderful emotion by thinking of something wonderful from the past. as we go forth from this meditation to those places we occupy in our lives, let us recognize that the calling of the universe is that we should become light beings, beings who are in the consciousness of God, and that's affecting the collective consciousness of mankind. It is one of the most important things we can be doing to bring about this transformation and this healing that is now underway. So be aware as you live your life. Be awake in what it is you're feeling. And if your feelings aren't positive and harmonious, caring, loving, and peaceful, take a holy pause. Do what the masters do, and do the heart math in yourself. For this opportunity in every moment, we feel gratitude. And to this we say, Amen. We will take an offering for unity now.
We also want to mention that there's a breakfast, a fundraiser taking place right after the service between 10 and 1 p.m. right in Fellowship Hall.
And in making this offering, feel that gratitude, put it into your offering, because this is where you make your place in life and open yourself to prosperity. So taking this feeling of love and gratitude, putting it in your offering with these words: divine love is my true life and my conscious destiny. Therefore, I give. Together, please. Divine love is my true life and my conscious destiny. Therefore, I give.
Away, oh, hey, hey, away, oh, way, hey, ho, ho, away, oh, ho, away, oh, hey, na, ah, day, oh, away, oh, hey, way. Away, oh, hey, hey, away, oh, way, hey, ho, ho, away, oh, ho, away, oh, hey, na, ah, day, oh, away, oh, hey, way, away, oh, hey, way.